everyone, this video is a combination of the sprint and the final. The sprint that we're looking at right now, it's only got one lap. That's because I only show about a minute of it, even though it's a 12-lap race. The reason why I'm doing that is just because I want to show you the start of the sprint. So I qualified in 4th, didn't have a great qualify. Just want to show you the start here. So notice how I'm jumping up and down. Everyone kind of moves out of my way, but that jumping up and down gives you like crazy acceleration. So I work my way all the way to 1st by the 1st corner. And the reason why that jumping up and down helps so much, particularly from a standing or a rolling start, is because every time your body moves up, that takes weight off the wheels and essentially gives you a better power to weight ratio, which means your kart has a small opportunity to accelerate. So that may only be by like 1 kilometer or like half a mile an hour, like every second, but it's better than everyone else around you, which is, as you saw, the proof is in the pudding right there. 1st place. Nice. Alright, so this is the final race now, the sprint race. I didn't want to show you the whole thing because it's kind of boring. I'm literally just in the front the whole time, and I pull a pretty significant gap as well. So I thought I would just give you the snippet of the most exciting part, which was actually that start overtake, and yeah, straight into the final. So this race was actually pretty intense. So because I finished the sprint in 1st place, I'll start the final in 1st place. I'm trying to bunch up the pack here because we're meant to start the race at about a walking pace. I think I say this every week, but this kart, number 35, is actually a notoriously slow kart, and you'll see in my timings up on the top left-hand side of the screen. Just wait for the start here. Yeah, so bouncing up and down again, trying to really get that acceleration down. But yeah, as I was saying, this kart is notoriously bad. It's probably about a second to a second and a half slower than my normal, just my average time really. And you'll see that on the timing page as we move through the laps. Going back to what I was saying before, when I said this race is pretty intense, I'd like to rephrase that. This is actually the most intense race I've ever had, as I just lose 1st place there, but perform a switchback quite nicely and take 1st place back. This whole race is just back and forth like that because of how slow this kart is on the straight. And you might see it here if we can get there, like it's just ridiculous. So I just have to work my way through all the corners, as I do again with another switchback. Yeah, crazy stuff. As I'm pulling onto the straight here, just watch my top speed. So normally my top speed in most karts is around 47, 48. In a good kart, about 49 miles an hour. Yeah, we're stagnant at 45. So 2 to 3 miles an hour slower. Oh, nice save there by kart 29. He almost spun out. If you run yourself wide then you get onto that concrete, it's very, very slippery. But yeah, really nice save there by him. I'm referring to the little tap I gave on 29 in turn 1 as I try to switch him back for that racing incident. Yeah, so that really confused me. He came out of absolutely nowhere. I was defending on the right from kart 29, and 16 just comes powering through with an absolute dive bomb from hell and takes first place. That being said, it was a very well controlled dive bomb. So 3 things about this guy who just dive bombed me from hell. Firstly, it's his first time here at a league race. I think he's done a bit of karting before, mostly in 2-stroke, based on my conversations with him before the race. Secondly, he's got a very, very cool helmet. I love that purple helmet. Very jealous of that. And third, he's from Singapore, so that makes him even cooler. And there's a 4th point. He also gave me free tea at the end of the race, so thank you, Willem. Really appreciate the tea. I just drank it. I'm actually drinking it right now. It's very, very tasty. Thanks for that. So the kart that he is in, kart number 16, is the kart that I got that crazy good time with last week, the 43.3. And again, with any fast kart, all you can do is try and tuck in behind them, but as you can see here, he's just crazy, just pulls away. So I have to, again, put in all the work through the corners and try and catch up to him as I do, and then tuck in behind him to get the draft effect, and then do the same thing for the next corner and just keep repeating and just hope he makes a mistake somewhere. So take note of this draft here on the straight. Normally I'm 45, so I actually get up to 47 here with a bit of a toe from him, and then make a nice overtake. So normally on the exit of the next corner, I will go all the way left to defend that inside line, but I purposely don't do that here. I give them the inside line because I set myself up for a switchback and it's actually quite smooth. The key to a successful switchback comes in 3 parts. The first part is prediction. You have to predict if your opponent is going to overshoot the apex. And now you can set this up in multiple ways, which leads me to the second part. The second part is being able to hold them or force them off the racing line and put them on the inside line, because that's usually a good position where someone will overshoot the apex because they don't realize how much harder they have to brake. If you're racing against someone seasoned, usually they will drive a little bit better and brake a little bit harder and actually hug that apex, but that gives you other options and I won't go into that. And the third and final bit to a successful switchback is your braking. You essentially almost disregard your braking point and you're braking based on your opponent. So as he comes up on your inside, you start braking and you let him overtake you. And the moment he gets slightly ahead of you, you release the brake, you turn in and you power on. And that's usually when that door will open up and you can power through that door. Obviously if the door doesn't open up then you have to try something different, but that's a story for another time. At this point in the race, I'm realizing that I can't keep switching him back every single time because he just keeps overtaking me on the straight, and as you can see, he's just pulling further and further away, so I'm losing my opportunity to actually affect those switchbacks. So at this point, I'm starting to throw my body around a lot more. So by the end of this race, I was actually exhausted, but through all the corners, just watch how much I'm throwing my body around, especially on the straights too, just trying to like milk everything out of the car. That change in audio sound there as I came out of turn 1 was actually because I launched myself so far forward in the car that my GoPro hit the steering wheel and it like buffed out the mic, but it's gone back to normal now. Also we overtook some traffic there on turn 2. Thankful that he got out of the way and then he saw us coming. those non-believers out there that don't believe in throwing your body around, like, actually makes a difference, especially in rental karting, just take note of my times from now. It's good. So I really started throwing my body around probably lap 9, lap 10, and my times are coming down also far in that last lap by what, almost 0.8 of a second. So yeah, just keep watching my times. I think they get better and better as we go. And also noting that this kart, as I said right at the start, is a lot slower than all the other karts around me. It only gets up to 45 on the straights, and all the other karts are getting up to about 48, 49. Coming up to turn 1, note how quickly I enter that corner and then how good my exit is, but despite that, he still manages to pull away before we enter turn 2. And the same thing on the exit of turn 3 ahead. Get a really good exit here, almost side by side, and then the acceleration difference is just throws me to the dust. This also seems to be quite classic. I focus so much on the guy ahead that I don't realise that someone's catching me. I think that's something I need to work on. And we both refuse to yield that little chicane. Good driving by both of us, and he just pulls away once we get on the straight. So that's someone completely different again. That's car 33, and then to my left I've got car 29. So everyone's catching up to me now. At this point, even though I'm super annoyed, kart 33 overtakes me, I also realised at this point that he's faster, so he could potentially catch up to kart 16. Those two could fight, and then I could do like a classic Lewis Hamilton and take them both, if I'm smart about it. So that's kind of what I'm banking on here, is just trying to stay as close as I can to 33. I'm not going to fight him too much. I kind of want him to push ahead and challenge 16 to allow me an opportunity to overtake them both. But that's easier said than done. I also just want to highlight my last lap there. Like, that was an absolute flyer off a lap. I think I just did everything perfectly and got a 43.8, which is quite incredible considering this kart's really its average time is around like a 44.8. I'm just pushing it really hard, which is why you're seeing a lot of 44.6s and a lot of 44.2s. But a 43.8 in this is like that. Like, I'm gonna float my own boat here. But that is wild. Like, that is extremely wild.
Come on, Nick. Come on, Nick. Slow him down, Nick.
So, as you can tell, I was getting quite frustrated there. Kart 33 ahead was trying the same move on the same corner. He tried that twice. I think he tries it a few more times, and it was kind of annoying because, to be honest, turn 5, the one that he keeps trying that overtake on, is probably one of the hardest corners on the entire track to pull an overtake off, just because of how that corner, it's very wide on the entry, but then it gets very narrow very quickly on exit because of the chicane. So if you can't affect the overtake by the time you get to the apex of this corner, it's actually coming up now, then you're not going to have the overtake unless you're both going to be super ballsy and go side by side to the chicane, which means one person goes off the track. you see, it's very hard to be side by side in that bit. And what that means, because he keeps going for that overtake at turn 5 and then not succeeding, it means it's detrimenting me as well, because I come flying around the corner and then I have to hit the brakes, otherwise I run into the back of him, or I bump the back of him and lose some more momentum. And that really cost me for the straight, considering I can only get up to about 45, 46 miles an hour. So when you're watching two people ahead of you fight, what you want to do is stick to the racing line, but also pick a driver that you think is going to make the overtake and stay behind him. So in this case, I picked 33 at this point. I'm like, I'm going to stay behind him because I think he's going to get ahead. And we're also on like the last lap, or second last lap. So I'm following 33, and I'm just going to follow him through because his line seems a little bit faster. So I'll squeeze my way through and make my position back. So I make my way back to third place through the corner by following 33 and the gap that he made. But then, as you saw, I just lost the position on the straight. And now we're on the last lap, so I kind of just have to, like, absolutely just send it at this point. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm going like super defensive, super aggressive, and just trying to hold the position. At this point in the race, I didn't know this was the last lap. I had the feeling it was very close to the end of the race. So yeah, I'm just like, I'm fighting for my life at this point. Also, I'm extremely, extremely exhausted. So that was the checker flag. Finished the race in third, started from first. To be honest, not bad considering this kart's lack of nice fist bump. This kart's lack of straight line speed on the straight line. I mean, you saw it. Everyone was just literally just driving past me on the straight. So that was very difficult to manage. But yeah, despite that, I think I pushed this kart like as hard as it could possibly drive. At some points I felt like I was driving around corners on 3 wheels, lifting one of the back wheels. Just getting a thumbs up there from the NJMP manager. But yeah, at some point I felt like I was going around the track on 3 wheels. I felt like I couldn't get anything else out of that kart. And also, I've never been this exhausted at the end of a kart race. Like, I felt this exhausted at the end of like a 2-stroke race. But never at the end of a 4-stroke rental race. Like, I was absolutely wrecked. Yeah, that race was a lot of fun, a lot of back and forth, a lot of fighting, a lot of defending, and I had to really be smart about what I was doing and when I was doing it.
While I eventually puked my guts out, I never puked my heart out. And I'm very, very proud of that.
That's good. I've never worked so hard in a race. Yeah. My entire life.
No, there were points where we were like 4 of us were nose to tail.
Good job. First race here, man. That was really good. Really good racing.
Yeah, nice job.
That was good. That was good.
Did you get first? Good job, man.
Lucky.
Good job, dude. First night of the